Hey guys, so we're doing this install on the Roadmaster active suspension system today on a 2020 Silverado half ton. And basically what you get, two of these in a box, and this part just sits up over the rear shackle. This goes in front of the axle beneath the leaf spring pack, and then you adjust the tension with this spring. And they have some little shims that they give you to adjust the tension from 25% ability to handle the load that you have better up to 40% depending on what shim you use. So we'll get under there and start doing the install, and I'll show you how to adjust it all up. Basically I just set the Roadmaster in place. So this part, it cups right over the rear shackle, right up there, so you can see how it's going to go. So I'll set it on there, then we'll drop down here, and this is going to sit on top of the shackle here, right here. This is going to go underneath. So we'll get it all lined up and then start some adjusting. Okay, so I slid that up over the edge of the leaf spring shackle, and you can, sorry about my big fat hand going in there, just center it up. You can actually feel with your fingers when it's centered, or you can just visualize it. It's pretty easy to figure that one out. So just set it on there, pull it forward so you're sure it's set gently in place. Then down here, now remember, this is going to go over the top, this goes underneath. So what I noticed is on the website for Roadmaster, they do mention, no one else mentioned this, but it comes with it in the first pin, so you could easily work from there. But for better load capacity, it says to use a second or third if you can. So we're going to go for the third hole, because our intention with this pickup is to haul the most we can safely. So we just want, go all the way with it. Anyway, so what we do here is we just get that close. If you need to slide the spring forward or back, go ahead and do that, just enough to where you can get your bolt through. And when you know you got enough space for that, then you can take it back out, push your bushing in place, and be good to go. Okay, here's the bushing. Nylon lock washer. Lock nut, sorry about that. Just get it started a little bit, guys, and we'll tighten it down later. Okay, so what we're going to do is we adjust it. It's going to suck this all up against the spring and the shackle block, and then we'll be able to tighten it down when we're all done. We just need, there's no torque spec, so all we need to do is tighten it up against the bushing pretty firmly. We don't need to crank it down, so tight that we're trying to destroy something. We want it pretty tight against there. So I'm just going to start now adjusting the tension. So just, of course, right is tight, left is loose. So we need to hold the shaft in place till we get a little bit of tension going on it, and take it from there. So I'm holding the top nuts so the all thread doesn't spin as I start to tighten this up. And it's just quicker if you go as far as you can by hand. So there we go. See how this is tightening up down here? You can't move it anymore. It's in pretty good shape as far as centered. Not really sure if it matters if that's completely centered perfectly or not down here, but it's really close. If you look at where the all thread goes through, is right in the center of the spring. So I'd say that's pretty good. And again, just keep going as tight as you can by hand, because just for the speed, we're putting the 14mm on there until it's nice and firm. You see, it gives you a great forearm workout. Okay, there we go. So at this point, we're going to get out our white shim. Remember the 25%er, and we're just going to go for that adjustment initially. and see what type of measurements we get. So what we're trying to do, we're going to get it to where it just slides in here like a feeler gauge for spark plugs or whatever else. So obviously we got a little more ways to go, but I just want it just to slip in, not be forced in per se, but not slop around either. So I'll give it a few turns with the wrench here, see how close we can get. Let's see how we're doing, guys. Yeah, see how we're just getting just where we can slide it in. So maybe a couple more turns. I don't know, it's pretty darn close. Just for kicks, we'll give it a little bit more. See where we're at. See how it's just going right perfect between every one of them. You just really want consistency more than anything. So that way you'll know it's the same on both sides. And looks pretty good, guys. So again, if you try to do the top, it's going to be a little different than the side. But if you go the same space, be consistent and everything, you should be good to go. Maybe a little tighter. A little looser, I don't know. Just get it right where you want it. Okay, all right, we're taking it. Okay, so now we got our adjustment where we want it on the 25%. We're just going to tighten this front nylon lock washer down. Like I said, I never did need the number 10 Allen key. You might, but it doesn't seem to be spinning on the back at all. I don't need it either end of the deal, so either side, so you might not need to bother with that. Just get this really nice and snug. Remember, it's just tightening up against the bushing. There's no torque spec for it. It's a nylon lock washer. It's probably not going to come back off on you. And again, we're not going to try to break anything, so just make it super snug. And you should be good to go, guys. So I double checked this where we rotated the nut and bolt so that this is not, look at how much difference we got here now. So we got tons of space here where that nut was pushing right up against it. That would not have been good at all. So this is nice and tight. Now we just run these nuts down tight against here, called jam nuts. We get that one real close. Get this one down there to it. And with our 19 millimeter, or excuse me, our 15/16, we're going to tighten this baby up. Then jam this one down on it. Let's keep everything from loosening up. There we go. We should be good to go. I'm just going to triple check my gap here. Looks good. We double checked everything for tightness. Got our new Bilsteins on here. Just put them on the other day. There's a nice video for that. And so now we're going to put our rims on, lower it down. Okay, guys. So what I did is I took this one out since the nut was right up against the caliper. I'm so glad I caught that. And I switched it around, so now the nut is on the inside. There's nothing for it to hit. You can see there's a tremendous amount of space here now. So again, I will actually send that to Roadmaster with a picture because it comes assembled with the nut on this side. So for this particular year model of Sierra or Silverado, that'd be a really heavy issue.